If you're looking for the quickest and easiest way to add, delete, or manipulate your artboards, you need to be using the artboard tool inside of Adobe Illustrator, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this movie, and we're going to add some artboards sort of on the fly. So in this document here, this is sort of a poster mock-up that I've been working on for a local farmers market campaign, let's say. And so what we want to do is we want to add some more artboards to this so that I can have several different color variations of this to present to the client. So I'm going to zoom out here just a little bit. And I'm going to select the artboard tool, which is over here on the left-hand side. You can also get to it by pressing Shift and the letter O on your keyboard. Once you have that tool selected, you will notice that there is an active selection around your artboard. This indicates the artboard that you're currently working on. If you had more than one artboard out here, you could click on an artboard to make it the active artboard, and that little marquee selection would automatically be applied to it. You will also notice that once I have the artboard tool selected, that my control panel completely changes to show all of the options available to me when it comes to artboard. So you can see right here in the control panel, it says artboard. I've got presets here. I've got the ability to add portrait or landscape orientation to my artboard. I can add new artboards. I can name this artboard, and I can move it and copy the artwork with the artboard. That means as I move the artboard around, the artwork comes with it. I can also show the center marks, show crosshairs, show video safe areas. I can open up the artboard options panel. I can change the reference point for this particular artboard, and I can change things like its X and Y coordinates and its physical width and height. So all of that can be done right here at the top with the artboard tool selected, making this the fastest way to access just about anything and everything you would ever need to change about an artboard. So really, if I don't have the artboard panel on my screen or readily available to me, maybe I've accidentally closed it, this is usually where I go to use the artboard options. So let's say that I wanted to add some more versions of this out to the right-hand side or maybe even one to the left. It's very easy to do that just by coming up here and clicking on the new artboard button. Now, when you click on that button, you're not going to see anything happen at first, but move your mouse down into the window. You have a loaded cursor with an artboard attached to it. All you have to do is line that artboard up with wherever it is that you need to place the artboard and click one time and it will place that artboard on your screen. Let's do it again. Let's click New Artboard, drag down, I'll line everything up, and once everything is lined up, I'll place this artboard somewhere like this. And you'll notice that it keeps my document setting, so it's got my bleed lines and everything else already in place, so I can continue to add multiple versions of this poster all the way across, and I don't have to worry about setting up the document again. Now, what if I wanted a landscape version of this? It's actually pretty easy to do that as well. Let me pan down by temporarily holding down my spacebar key. Then we will switch the orientation after I click New Artboard, because watch what happens if I click it now. Did you see the artboard change in my top right corner? See how it flipped? You do not want to do that before you click New Artboard. So I'm going to click New Artboard first. Then I'm going to click Landscape. And now I've got this. I'll pan down and I can place this anywhere I want. I'll just center it underneath here and place one just like that. And you can see right here that I still have this one flipped. Let me switch that back. Just click on it, flip it back, and now everything's in line again. So normally what I do when I'm creating multiple versions of files and I have assets that I'm going to reuse on all three of them or all four of them, however many I have, I will create what I call a scratch artboard. And usually it's going to be in a different size and maybe even a different orientation than the other artboards so that I know exactly where it is and what I need to do with it. So this would be my scratch artboard down here at the bottom. And this is where I will store things like this logo element, maybe the type, all that kind of stuff. The other things that I will add to the posters will be unique to each one of the individual posters. But most of the time I'm going to be reusing things like logos, text, that kind of stuff. I'll store that down here in a temporary scratch artboard, and that way I can easily duplicate items from one place to another. I'll then throw this artboard away at the very end of it, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a few minutes. So, hopefully this gives you a better understanding of how to work with the artboard tool inside of Illustrator. In the next movie, I'll actually show you how to take this tool and manipulate artboards by changing their size and shape without having to do any work in the control panel. If you're looking for the quickest and easiest way to add, delete, or manipulate your artboards, you need to be using the artboard tool inside of Adobe Illustrator, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this movie. And we're going to add some artboards sort of on the fly. So in this document here, this is sort of a poster mock-up that